Hi guys, how are you all today morning? Good morning. In this verse of Ashtavakra Gita, Ashtavakra tells Raja Janaka and all living entities, the knower of the truth knows no misery because he or she knows that this universe is filled with him or her alone. This is a very important but slightly tricky verse. To know what Ashtavakra means, we have to go into depth in this verse. We have to analyze it carefully. As we have already talked about, as we have already observed in our previous videos, every living entity is a universe himself or herself. This universe of every living entity consists of his or her immediate family, parents, brothers and sisters, cousins, relatives, friends, acquaintances, neighbors, neighborhood, office complexes, places of work, etc. A living entity's universe is what he or she lives in all his or her life as per his or her destiny, karma, and choice. Destiny and karma decide on parents, brothers and sisters, relatives, etc. But friends, acquaintances, job, etc. are chosen by the living entity according to his or her figment of imagination or his or her own psyche. If you are a good person, you will have good company. On the other hand, if you have negative qualities, you will find only bad company. Birds of the same feather flock together. It is not that a saint is in midst of criminals or a gangster is in the midst of saints. It does not happen. People choose their company. Similarly, your own ideas, figments of imagination, thoughts, fears, prejudices, discrimination, vibes, etc. decide on your reaction or action towards other living entities. If you are a lover of animals, you will have animals surrounding you. You will have a lot of pets. On the other hand, if you are indifferent to them, they will go their way and you will go your way. You will have nothing to do with them. Some people are very much interested in some subjects, so they only move in the surrounding or the company of people with minded interests. Musicians go around with musicians, artists like that, and engineers, doctors, etc., have their own company. That is their universe. The universe, that's why, is filled with themselves. It is a universe designed by them, by every living entity to suit his or her convenience. Bruce Lee went on record saying, "You reflect what you want to show." If you want to show a soft exterior, you will have a soft touch everywhere and it will be reflected on the mirror. Even your body language depends on your psyche. People who are muscular look muscular because they are thinking like that. People who are soft because they are thinking like that. In There was one Tiger Swami who went on record saying, "I just thought about health and strength and I became strong." There are women who are thinking only about beauty. If you look at them, you will see that they are taking all pains only to look beautiful and attractive. They go to beauty parlors, put all sort of makeup, which may be quite painful. They go on diets, etc., to keep a beautiful, attractive figure and want to attract the opposite sex. Men are masochistic enough to do vigorous exercises to keep their body fit and muscular. There are several examples which prove how our own mentality decides on various things that we are experiencing as misery or otherwise. There was a gangster called Lillo Carmine Galante. One another gangster called Vincent Teresa went on record saying that Lillo never liked anybody. Lillo was always critical of others. He could not see goodness in anybody. There was a reason. Because he had a dirty mind, he had surrounded himself with dirty company, as a result of which he was forced to see only evil everywhere. Hitler was not qualified enough to become an architect or a draftsman. He had no talent to do so. However, he thought that he was the best draftsman around. When he sat for a competitive examination for architects and draftsmen in Vienna, Austria, he naturally failed. When he saw the display board, he saw that all those who had qualified in the exam were mostly Jews, and they had very noticeable Jewish names. Instead of thinking of improving himself and his talent, Hitler got prejudiced and vindictive towards Jews, and that resulted in genocide of Jews. Hitler was so evil that when he was about to commit suicide, he told his own subordinate Albert Speer, I feel that my own people from Germany and Austria have betrayed me. Burn all the businesses, bridges, fields, etc., so that they all starve to death. So evil was Hitler's nature. It is another matter that the subordinate Speer did not obey Hitler's orders. Similarly, Stalin was a Georgian and not a Russian. This, combined with his lack of erudition and his intellectual capacity, made him a very ruthless, bloodthirsty tyrant. That was his universe. Similarly, every living entity has his or her own universe where it is filled with the vibes and the mentality and figments of imaginations, ideas, opinions, thoughts, etc. of the living entity. He or she should not blame others for what he or she is experiencing. This is what Ashtavakra wants to say. A man of knowledge, a knower of truth, knows that whatever he or she is experiencing is his or her own doing. So he or she does not know any misery because after knowing this, he or she becomes detached towards everything and abides in the self. Till we meet in my next video, it is good morning from TSV Raghavan.